Welcome to all of us here welcoming Shabbat. Welcome to all of you who are welcoming Shabbat as part of our virtual community. It's wonderful to be able to begin this sacred time all together. We are standing in a kind of in-between time. We've just finished marking our festival of Pesach. We're looking forward to our festival of Shavuot. And in Jewish memory, we're basically marking that we just went free. We left Egypt, we found freedom on the other shore, and Shavuot is all about when the Israelites received Torah on Mount Sinai. And so like the ancient Israelites, we're in this in-between moment, thankful for our freedom and anticipating that we will soon be at Mount Sinai receiving Torah, the very reason why we went free, that'll give us the anchor of our life. And so we are supposed to spend this in-between time readying ourselves to take Torah and to claim it once again. We do it every year, and once again this year we're asked to claim Torah. It's unclear exactly what that means, but one teacher, Rabbi Jacob Pedakowski, taught that what we basically have to do is to transform Torah from legislation to commandment. Legislation, laws, these are laws on the books, they're impersonal. They're written to anybody, for everyone. But a commandment is a personal thing. It is addressed, and it's addressed to you. And so we have to take this text and remind ourselves that it isn't an impersonal document. It is God whispering in our ear and asking us to heed the call. And I will tell you, as I look out at this world, God needs us, each and every one of us. And so we have this matter of weeks to ready ourselves once again to turn law into commandment and to remember that we are called to act in this world. And we're going to begin that work on this Shabbat. I'm Rabbi Ari Lorge. I'm joined by my colleagues, Cantor Dan Mutlu, Rabbi Angela Buchdahl, Rabbi Rachel Hauser, Rabbi Sivan Rothels. On our bima, incredible leaders in our community, Michael and Dorit Corwin. We want to also recognize we have some guests with us, some guest groups. The confirmation class from Temple Har Zion in Toronto, or Har Zion, I'm not sure exactly which one. We also have guests from Emmanuel in San Francisco. Welcome. It's great to have you here. And guests from Miami? Hey, we're in Miami. Temple Beth El? Oh, welcome. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else just a guest here? Oh, really? Whereabouts? California? All right. It's a big state. Welcome. Welcome to the coast on this side. We want to really give each other the gift of Shabbat. So if you came in here with a device that's going to bing or ding, and you know, of course, that you put yours on silent, but just check, turn it off, put it on silent, make sure that we can really give each other the ability to focus and be in this space. And I just want to lift up some gratitude to our shamashim who greeted us as we came in, to our incredible musicians who help add the joy and spirit of Shabbat, and to all of the many teams here at Central Synagogue who enable us to worship safely in this beautiful sanctuary and help maintain this beautiful space. Now we're going to take a little bit of time to greet one another, to wish each other a Shabbat Shalom, and to add to that joy. We're going to continue. And it's an honor to call up Joanna Wolf and Thorsten Wagner to help us kindle the Shabbat lights. So I'll invite you up now. The bracha is on page 2. Shabbat. We're beginning with Psalm 95. You can find it on page 12 of your Siddur or in your order of service. Psalm 96, just below in your order of service, or on page 13.
Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai,
your siddur, in your prayer book on pages 20 and 21, is the mystical poem Lecha Dodi, which imagines Shabbat as our beloved who we are regretting to greet again and welcome back again. We're going to sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And on the 9th and final verse, if you're able, we'll rise together, face the entrance to greet Shabbat.
Ay, 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 lecha dodi. Ay, 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 likrat kala. Ay, 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 penei Shabbat.
Let's hear you sing it.
Ay,
ready now to call each other to prayer, so we'll turn forward to page 146, and continue with Baruch Hu.
Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai, Hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam va'ed.
Le'olam, le'olam,
Please be seated. We read together, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna mishanei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, bore yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or.
ומעביר יום ומעביר לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו, לעולם ועד.
Page 148. In each age we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment we are addressed by the world.
In each age we are challenged by our ancient teaching. At each moment we stand face to face with truth.
In each age we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment the knowing heart is filled with wonder.
In each age the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed.
At this time, I'd love to call up Vesper Suzette to come up and receive her Hebrew name and to be blessed by this congregation with her parents, Laura and Perry. Please rise. Vesper, Suzette, you are so little, and yet your arrival is so monumental. We are so thrilled to welcome you into the world and into this, your extended Jewish community. We welcome you on this Erev Shabbat. It's almost past your bedtime, but we know you like the evening. You were born just before midnight, and so your parents named you Vesper, which means evening star. Tonight, you are our evening star. Your parents have picked a beautiful Hebrew name for you, very connected to your other name, Lila Vered, which means evening rose, in honor of grandmothers of yours from both sides, Laura's mother, Vera, and Perry's mother, Suzanne. Lila is a loose Hebrew translation of Vesper, meaning evening or night. It's also a loving nod to Perry's mom, because when your dad was a young teenage filmmaker, he made a short film about a space alien that disguises itself as an old lady named Lila. And of course, that role was played by his mother, your namesake. The name Vered is also in honor of both of your grandmothers. Vered is directly in honor of Vera, your mother's mother, who fled to the United States with her family from Baghdad, all the way across the world. As an Iraqi Jew, her faith was very important to you, and she passed down to your mother the importance of Judaism. And we got very accustomed to seeing your mom in the pews here at Central. Vera was tenacious and proud of being the squeaky wheel, but most of all, she prioritized family over everything and devoted her life to your mom, Laura. Vered is also a Hebrew word or name for rose. And Suzanne also means rose and comes from the Hebrew name Shoshana, which is also sometimes translated as rose. I hope you're following me. Suzanne was super warm and welcoming. She loved to cook for people. She taught your dad how to cook, and your dad can't wait to teach you how to cook. He looks forward to that. Suzanne was from an artsy hippie world in Detroit. Did you even know that existed? And she also poured herself into raising her children. So with these names, Vesper Suzette, Lila Vered, our evening rose, you truly have taken on the beautiful legacy, and you're smiling here too, of two amazing female namesakes. And with the loving embrace of your parents and your extended community, we know that you, our evening rose, our evening star, will be a blessing to our people. And if I can, you're so little, I'm gonna offer a blessing to you. Okay, and I'll hold her too. Here we go. Here we go. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom. May you feel so much love. Please be seated.
We have to turn back to our Siddur. Page 152. It's a joyous song, though, and we've been practicing this one.
Mí
ask God to spread over a canopy, a shelter of peace. You can find the words on your order of service. And we take some time to think who we want to stretch that canopy over, those we know and those in need.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, from sorrow and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Hashkivenu Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu
Page 155, 155. I'll invite you to rise as we continue with tefillah.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים, אתה רב להושיע. מורי הטעם, מחכה חיים בחסד, בחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue now silently, either through the rest of the tefillah, which you can find continues through page 167, or with our own prayers. And you can remain standing or be seated.
צורי וגואלי.
In a famous and mysterious episode of our Torah this week, we read of how Aaron's sons, Moses' nephews, bring forth Eish Zara, strange fire, before the altar of God, and they are promptly engulfed in flame and killed. Before Aaron can even react to the great pain of losing two of his children, Moses intervenes and moves the ceremony along. It is implied that this is neither the time nor place to give vent to sorrow. So many of us might feel like Aaron, full of pain we aren't invited to express, informed by society that we must keep a stiff upper lip and move on. But in this moment, we give a little space to those who either carry pain themselves or who love someone who does, pain of body, mind, or spirit. On this Shabbat especially, we think of Jonathan Barron, Jean Brenner, Zygmunt Galit, Micah Goldsmith, Rachel O'Rourke, Piper O'Rourke, Ze'ev Tuvia, Larry Wecker. If there are names of those in need of healing that you want to add to this list, at this time, please share them aloud or hold them in your heart. May the Holy One of Blessing grant them a refuah shlema, a complete healing of body, mind, and spirit. Misha Berach can be found in your order of service.
Healer of the brokenhearted, binder of their wounds, counter of uncountable stars, you know who they are. Healer of the brokenhearted, binder of our wounds, counter of uncountable stars, you know who we are. Hallelujah,
In giving space to pain with hope of healing, we also give space to rejoicing. So I invite you to rise and remain standing if any of the following applies to you. If you have recently celebrated a birthday or will be celebrating one in the coming week, please rise. Yom Huledet Sameach. If you are marking an anniversary of a marriage, either in this past week or upcoming, please rise. If you are excited to have chametz again and you're done with matzah until next year, please rise. Oh God, I sort of risked everyone standing up. And then finally, if you're excited for re-entry of the Artemis II mission, which should be splashing down at 8 p.m. tonight, please rise. And just in case I didn't get everyone, if you're planning on making a pilgrimage to see the beautiful cherry blossoms in Central Park, or you've done so already now that the weather is warming up, please rise. And then finally, if you're just happy to be done with Passover and all the cleaning and cooking it portends and moving towards Shavuot, please rise and join us in Shehechianu. Sifrei Torah out of the ark.
כי מציון תצא תורה דבר אדוני מירושלים כי מציון תצא תורה דבר אדוני מירושלים ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו כי מציון
seated. Ulahavdil bein kodesh uvein hachol uvein hatameh uvein hatahor. You must distinguish between the sacred and the profane, between the impure and the pure, says Leviticus 10:10. Parshat Shmini makes clear that our lives depend on it. Because just a few verses earlier, Aaron's sons, Nadav and Avihu, bring an impure offering, an Eish Zarah, alien fire, onto the altar. And for this, they are consumed on the spot by God. Aaron, their father, goes silent. This dramatic and disturbing story is then followed by kosher laws. Which land animals were allowed to eat? Animals with cleft hooves that chew their cud. And which water creatures? Those with fins and scales. The pairing of the devastating deaths of Nadav and Abihu with dietary rules seems baffling until you understand that they are both about the importance of distinguishing between what is pure and impure, sacred and profane. As a religious studies major in college, Mircea Eliade's book of the same name, The Sacred and the Profane, was required reading. Eliade, who essentially founded the academic study of the history of religion at the University of Chicago, argued that human beings fundamentally experience reality in two realms: the sacred, which is elevated, transcendent, spiritual, special, and profane, which is ordinary, everyday, sometimes degraded. Part of Eliade's thesis is that sacred reality reveals itself through what he calls hierophanies, a manifestation of the sacred in our regular world, like a sanctuary or a holiday, or even an ordinary object like a stone, a tree, a meal, which can become sacred or feel charged when it points to something beyond itself, when it gathers identity, memory, and meaning into one spot, like a loved one's gravestone, or a great-grandfather's tallis, or a Passover Seder, like we just all went through last week. These are all hierophanies, which are objects or rituals that connect us to primordial time, to something bigger than ourselves, to meaning and purpose. Judaism's most recognizable hierophany might be our Torah scroll, which sits in Aron HaKodesh, literally the Holy Ark. The sacredness of these scrolls don't come from some rare ink or from the unusual properties of the parchment. The holiness comes because of the meticulous inscription of every letter, which matches the letters of every other Torah scroll ever written since God first etched it at Sinai. It comes from the thousands of hands that will touch it, over hundreds of Shabbatot, marking the milestones and the mitzvahs of our people. When a Torah scroll is no longer legible or kosher, we treat it with the same care we would treat a human life. We bury it in a cemetery or geniza rather than destroy it, because we know it is sacred. We call our Torah our tree of life. Sometimes that is more than a metaphor. On this Shabbat before Yom HaShoah, I want to tell you of a scroll that truly was a source of life. During World War II in Nazi-occupied Poland, Germans descended upon the town of Lvov and forced all its able-bodied Jews into the Janowska concentration camp. The SS not only brutally enslaved, beat, and ultimately murdered Jews there, they deliberately stripped them of every marker of identity, of humanity, every shred of dignity. They understood the logic of Parshat Shmini in reverse. If they could render everything impure, profane, they could shut down souls, make life meaningless. But the Jews of Lvov found their own form of resistance. They went to the cemetery where they had buried their old, unusable Torah scrolls, and they carefully separated the parchments at the seams and smuggled the fragments into Yanowska, hidden in packages, sewn into shirts, pressed against their skin. Once in the camp, the inmates hid these fragments beneath thin mattresses and under floorboards, knowing discovery meant death. But at night, in the barracks, they would gather around their holy, broken Torah, and the words of our ancient story, our ethics, our redeeming God came alive again. And the Jewish inmates remembered who they were. Not only was their Torah resurrected, so was their humanity. The Jews of Lvov understood in the most desperate circumstances imaginable how to seek out the sacred amidst the profane. Their holy scroll fortified their spiritual resilience, reminding them that they were a part of a story larger than their suffering, that they were not the sum of what was being done to them, and that same divine finger that etched those letters on that little fragment of a scroll had also inscribed them in the book of life. After the camp's liberation in 1945, one survivor collected all the scattered pieces and assembled them into a single patched scroll, the Yanov Torah. The handful of survivors who remained in Lvov made a pact. The oldest would safeguard it, handing it to the next in line before each man died. In 1975, as the last survivor was near death, he entrusted the Yanov Torah and its story to a Jewish refusenik, Naum Rit, as he fled Russia for America. Since 2008, the scroll has then lived at Hebrew Union College, the Reformed Seminary, under the mandate that its students and rabbis would share its message widely. I'm very grateful that our friend and former rabbi at Central, Rabbi Dan Ross, entrusted this scroll to us for this particular Shabbat. Today, I carry the weight of this Yanov Torah, which bore witness to the Holocaust. I cannot tell you why this scroll survived Yanovska when so many Jews did not. Just as I cannot understand how the fires of the Holocaust consumed 6 million Jews as we commemorate Yom HaShoah on Monday. Nor can I explain the shocking deaths of Nadav and Abihu in this week's Torah portion, which reduced even their father to silence. There are moments when silence is the only honest response to death beyond our comprehension. When the explanations that we reach for, there must be a reason, God must have a plan, become their own kind of alien fire. I'm not going to bear this Torah, this scroll that was buried and recovered and smuggled into hell and carried out again, and tell you that their deaths make sense. There was not a reason. Some deaths are not explained. They're only witnessed. And this Torah witnessed them. On this Shabbat before Yom HaShoah, we are honored to carry the Yanov Torah, which tells the story of that survivors are no longer here to tell. Like Aaron before us, we stand in silence before the enormity and mystery of death. But we will refuse to let the fire have the final word. We will go on distinguishing between the sacred and the profane, between a world that desecrates life and a tradition that sanctifies it. And we will insist on the sanctity of every single life, whether it is here in America or in the state of Israel. And by holding fast to what is holy, we insist in a world of ashes that what is sacred will prevail. For the honor of the Aliyah tonight, I want to call up Mark Schleisner, whose parents were both Holocaust survivors. As a good son, when there was the opportunity for them to have reparations from Germany, he helped them fill out all the paperwork so that they could live with dignity through into their old age. And then because he became a kind of an expert, all of their friends also asked him to help them get reparations. And he did the mitzvah of helping dozens of people receive their proper due from Germany after the Holocaust, and did many other ways of honoring his parents, including a relatively recent trip to Germany where he visited where they came from and put a stepping stone where they had last lived in Germany. So it's an honor for you to have the Aliyah tonight as we honor the memory of those who perished at the Holocaust and as we read from this scroll. This scroll is not kosher to read from anymore, so we will hold it with honor and dignity as we read from one of our Torah scrolls. Oh, yes, please.
And we are back. We are back in Leviticus tonight in chapter 9, verses 1 through 4, and you can follow along on page 798 in your blue Torah volume.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bacha banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. ויהי ביום השמיני קרא משה לאהרון ולבניו וזקני ישראל, ויאמר אל אהרון, קח לך עגל בן בקר לחטאת, ועיל לעולה תמימים, והקרב לפני אדוני, ואל בני ישראל תדבר לאמור, ככוס יריזים לחטאת, ועגל וכבש בני שנה, תמימים לעולה. ושור ועיל לשלמים, לזבוח לפני אדוני, ומנחה בלולב השמן, כי היום אדוני נראה עליכם.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam notab b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Please rise as we give honor to both of our scrolls.
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. Al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai.
Please remain standing for Aleinu on page 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם,
Please be seated. Tonight we remember our loved ones dear to our hearts, including the 6 million lost in the Shoah. There are stars up above, so far away, we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. The Central Synagogue community mourns the recent passing of Marcella Channon, Nathan Chernov, Ruth Davis, Helen Elganian, Laura Gellis, Neil Dana Gluckin, Jack Green, Helen Katzman, Marilyn Levitt, Rhoda Cookie Marin. We are also remembering the anniversary of the passing of these loved ones. Stan Abram, Seth Abrams, Sonia Adler, Kenneth Annis, Natalie Appel, Jean Baruch, Blanche Botnick, Sylvia Berg, Myron Bizoza, Abby Bloom, Mary K. Bogut, Lawrence A. Brenzel, Larry Bushbaum, Herbert Burdo, Robert Berger, Gloria Cohen, Richard Crane, Richard Dobrow, Donald Dorfman, Stephen Edwards, Milton Ehrlich, Norman Ember, Bernard Feldman, Nina Freudenheim, Richard Furman, Ethel Gabriel, Gersten Golden, Bernice Goldstein, Louis Goldstein, Jack Gorman, Lori Gross, Renata Gross Horowitz, Walter Gruber, Dorothy Gruen, Benjamin Halperin, Mildred Harmon, Jack Harris, Edwin Heiberger, Dolly Heifetz, Eleanor Jacobs, Martin Jacobs, Sigmund Jewar, Robert Kalish, Norman Cantor, Helen Katzman, Zoe Kellner, Miriam Kirschenberg, Gail Klebanoff, Natalie Cobert, Bernice Kruger, Marion Lachow, Bobby Lebowitz, Robert Lerner, Robert Magnus, Shirley Markman, Leonard Marks, Edward H. Meyer, Priscilla Miller, Isidore Mintz, Judith Middleberg, Judith Mizrahi, Edith Nathanson, Lloyd Needle, Viola Newhouse, Esther Oberlander, Max Orenberg, Norman Ocean, Frida Ostrowski, Marion Phillips, Naomi Pomerantz, Marion Pops, Murray Psena, Ronald Rosenson, Hugh Roth, Robert Rothenberg, Richard Rovit, Barbara Robit, Dorothy Ryan, Mary Ellen Salop, Max Saslaw, Joseph Saul, Robert Slifke Saunders, Louis Schenkel, Beatrice Seaman Chernick, Mary Simon, Harry Simon, Maury Spanier, Rose Starr, Nettie Steiner, Henry Steinhardt, Ronald Stone, Robert Swidler, Adam Tedesco, Lorraine Tepper, Ruth Tepperberg, Deborah Togut, Gail Tulchin, Michael Tweedy, Samuel Unrod, Michael Wall, Sidney Blatt Weinberg, Leon Weinstock, Lawrence Weisberg, Gabrielle Weisberg, Sheila Weiss, Gabriel Wiener. If you are in a period of Shiva, the first 7 days of mourning, we invite you to rise and remain standing. If you are in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, we invite you to rise and remain standing. If you are in a period of Shana, the first year of mourning, we invite you to rise and remain standing. If you are observing a yahrzeit, we invite you to rise and remain standing. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing. As one community, we all rise and turn to page 294 for Kaddish. Yit gadal v'yit gadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'adalah u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach leolam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Following services, please join us across the street in Lease Lobby for our Oneg Shabbat. Tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. in person and virtual is our Mishkan service. We invite all kids under the age of bar and bat mitzvah to come up to the bima to help us lead Kiddush and Motzi blessings. The Kiddush can be found on page 5 of our prayer books.
I also want to make sure that people knew that we are doing our shared Yom HaShoah commemoration that we have done for over 40 years with St. Peter's Church, and it will be housed here, 6 o'clock on Monday. And Cantor Mutlu, who will be helping lead that service, has offered that he will show people the Yanov scroll after that service if you want to come. And it's actually, it gave me chills when I opened it. You can actually see pieces that were cut and how the fonts are different, and it really, you feel like you're in the presence of truly a sacred object. So 6 o'clock is our Yom HaShoah observance here with our friends from St. Peter's Church, and you can have an opportunity to be close to the scroll after services if you'd like to join.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher etziat מצרים, קיווינו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים.
Bread.
ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ. אמן.
Let us build a world from love. Olam chesed yibaneh.
Olam chesed yibaneh. La la la.